Hello, hello, and welcome to today's STEAM Team Challenge. My name is Miss Julie, and I'm from the Warrenville Public Library in Warrenville, Illinois. This session's STEAM Team Challenge is creating a foosball table out of a box in honor of the World Cup happening. So the things you should have for me are 4 of these dowel rods. You should have 10 clothespins and a small ping pong ball. Also, you will need some sort of box, ideally like a shoe box or something about this size-ish, as long as you can fit 4 of your rods across and your players. That'll be good. So even if it's an Amazon box or something, that's fine as well. Okay, so first steps that I decided to take with mine was cutting out our goals. And my goals are kind of big. Yours don't have to be this big. The main things to focus on are making sure that the goals are center and that they are the same size and location on each side so that it's fair for both teams playing your foosball game. So, as I said, mine are a little bit big, but as long as you can fit at least 2 of these widthwise and then a little bit more here, a little bit taller than the size of this ping pong ball, which if you have a ruler, you should have a ruler actually as well for this. It's about 1.5 inches. So you probably want it to be at least 2 inches tall. But again, that's up to you as far as how big you want it to be. As long as you're going to be able to get this through there, you should be good. Okay, so just to make sure, I did go ahead and measure each side and the top to make sure they were the same on both sides. So for mine, there's 2 inches here, 2 inches here, 2 inches here. Could be smaller than that, and that would be fine. And then I made sure it was the same on this side. So then it's fair for both teams. Okay, after you've done that, that's probably the best time to go ahead and decorate the inside of your box. I just made some grass, but you could also draw in some lines for your field. You could pretty much make it however you want to make it ultimately, but it would probably be easiest to do the inside of the box at this point before you're sticking your rods and your players in. Okay, the other thing you can choose whether you want to do now or later is decorating your clothespins. They're going to serve as your players, and they're going to clip with the long end facing down. So when you're clipping it, it's going to be facing this way. So you can think of the clip part as where the heads of your players might be, and these are like the legs. The main thing with decorating your clothespin players is half of them need to show one color and half of them need to show another. And that's so that you know which ones are on which team. You can also choose to like make faces on them, however you want to do that part of things. All right. Now with some more heavy measuring, you're gonna need your ruler. Since there are 4, I only have 2 in here just to show you my process a little bit. Since you have 4, you're gonna wanna measure the length of your box, and then divide it by 5. And you're dividing it by 5 because you're breaking this up into 5 equal parts. So measure how long your box is and then divide by 5. When you have that, I believe mine was about 2 3/4 inches for each one. So after I had my length divided it by 5, I had 2 3/4. So I knew that for every 2 3/4 inch, I needed to draw a line. You could see there's my line to show me how far this way. So that is your first step. So you're going to make 4 lines then, depending on what your measurements end up being. Then you have to figure out how far up your rods are going to go. So the thing with this is, as you can see, we are going to have our rods across here. This ping pong ball is going to have to be able to go underneath the rods. So it's better to have them further up. But since we measured this and it's 1.5 inches, you're going to want it to at least be 2 inches up. The other part to measure and consider is the length of your clothespins, because you want them, while they're hanging here, to be able to kick and spin and not hit the bottom. And they can be a little up too. They don't have to be too close, because you just want to make sure that they can hit the ball. So if we measure that with our clothespins here, we're going to see that at least like 2 inches here too. So I just went ahead. Let's see, what did I do here? What were my measurements? I knew I wanted it at least 2.5 inches from the bottom. And I went a little bit further and I decided to go 3 inches from the bottom. So I have my first line here, and that showed me that I need to go this far from the end of my box here. And then I measured 3 inches up from that line, and I dotted it with pencil there. So that's where I know I need to make my holes. Made them there too. Then, after figuring out where your hole is going to go, remeasure each one on the other side to make sure they're going to go straight across. Okay. All right. So then I just use some scissors. You might need help from a parent. Actually, even for the goal, you probably might need help from a parent. It just depends on your box, depends on how strong it is, how sturdy, how easy it is to cut into. And you can just poke a hole in there, and then you could push the dowel rods through one end and then into the hole on the opposite side. All right. Hope that all makes sense. When you're at that point, you'll do that for all 4. And then you can put your clothespins on your players here. And you're going to want 2 of one color, 3 of the other. And then you're going to do 3 of this first color again here. And then 2 of this red color, or whatever your second color is on this one. Okay, so there's our foosball table. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or ask us when you come in. But I hope you have fun with this Steam Team Challenge and create a really great foosball table to enjoy this soccer season. All right, thank you.